So UNS Cespedes, obviously this is something that is now bringing Moose great pleasure in the fact that I was wrong that Cespedes was going to be a big part of the Mets lineup this year. Anyone who decides to opt out for any reason 100% has the right to do so. There is a way to go about it, and there is a way to not go about it. And UNS Cespedes picked the latter. It is all well and fine if you want to opt out of the season. It's your right, and I would 100% understand it.
You think that's the reason why Cespedes opted out?
You can't slink away. You know what, Moose? Honestly, to question the motivation there is not really something I'm interested in. I'm not, but that's not part of it. I'm not questioning the motivation of someone who doesn't want to play during a pandemic, whether you think that's fugazi or not. My issue is there's a way to do it. You have to be as open and honest with your employer as possible. Now, I know Brandon Nimmo came out and said that, that maybe there was a conversation, maybe there wasn't. We don't know. But you can't just slink away in the middle of the night. That's where I'll get on Cespedes. If you don't want to play because you're worried about health and safety, if you don't want to play because of the pandemic.
There were videos posted in early July where he's at a salsa club in Queens dancing. No mask. Dancing.
I saw them. I saw them. And I saw them at the mall. And I saw all that stuff.
So
I still don't feel comfortable questioning a guy if he says that he's opting out because of COVID. Moose, that's not for me to say. Because in July, when those pictures were taken, he may not have had a family member who was stricken with COVID-19, and that may have come a little bit later. Who knows?
Maggie, if Yoenis Cespedes was hitting 310 with 8 home runs, do you think he's opting out?
I have no idea, Moose, and I'm not in the question of questioning his motivation on that.
He went up to the Mets questioning playing time because of incentives in his contract. Come on, that's not fair. No. Tiger doesn't change his stripes. Tiger does not change his stripes. He is what he is.
Just because you want to criticize the whole entirety of his decision,
should.
I'm criticizing the avenue by which he went about telling the team.
What, in the middle of the night packing up and leaving?
That's what I said, slinking away in the middle of the night. That is absolutely, he should be crushed for that. You have to be more open and honest with your employer in terms of questioning whether or not that he was actually nervous about the global pandemic or not. I'm not going to question that because that's not my place.
Maggie, I have a hard time thinking about the fact that a guy is in that much fear when you're at a club in Queens salsa dancing and you're at the Roosevelt Field Mall shopping around. If you're that overly concerned, and then the reports come out that he was was bothered by the Mets benching him, and was bothered by the fact that the Mets thought he thought the Mets were playing around with the numbers so he could not reach his incentives. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. If Cespedes was hitting, if Cespedes would be hitting, he would not be COVID schmovid. I mean, he'd still be go out there playing baseball. He wasn't hitting.
Here's the thing. You don't know what changes in somebody's family from one day to the next, Moose.
Maggie, come on now.
Moose, you're not going to force me to criticize that part of the decision for him in a global pandemic.
He does not get it. See, here's the problem with Cespedes, right? I've said it time and time again, right? Someone told me Pedroia said basically he was the worst teammate he's ever had with the Boston Red Sox. Yoenis Cespedes, I said time and time again, general managers out there wouldn't pay him. Cespedes is an absolute dog. You want to know what Cespedes is? He had an unbelievable run in 2015. The Mets paid him, and he has been an absolute headache and a dog. Injuries, and then you get this scenario that transpired last week. Because I firmly believe there's more. He's got the opt-out. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. He deserves to get ripped in the style and fashion in which he did it. But if you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to believe here that Yoenis Cespedes, who's at the Roosevelt Field Mall shopping, right? He's at the Roosevelt Field Mall shopping. If you're that in fear, you're basically hanging at home, or he's on that ranch down in Port St. Lucie, slaughtering pigs and left and right. I mean, so you mean to tell me now that if Cespedes was hitting, that he'd go out there and opt out? No, he wouldn't opt out. He'd still be in the lineup.
I don't know that, and neither do you.